All right, hello everybody. My name is Cameron. I'm the camp director, and this is our lovely assistant Amy. And we're going to give it just a couple more minutes for everybody to get logged on before we get started. So bear with us just for a minute or two. If somebody will send us a comment real quick in the live chat just to let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, thank you. All right, so we got quite a few on. We'll go ahead and get started. This will also be saved as a video afterwards, and we'll post it on our Facebook page so anybody that misses can go back and watch this later. All right, so first we're excited to be back with a pretty much a normal summer camp after, of course, everybody knows last year was a lot different. We weren't able to go on any field trips, and but we made the most of it and had a good time here at our facility. On that note, this year we have confirmed with every single one of our field trips. So everything on the calendar as of right now is a go. We're good to go to all the field trips. And now we're going to go through some notes, try to give everybody as many details about this year's summer camp as possible. And at the end, we'll have a quick question and answer in the live chat. You can send us your questions and we will answer those at the end. All right, so first we've got something. This is new for everybody this year, whether you've been here for 5 years or this is your first time ever coming. We've got an app that everybody's going to get an email invitation to join our app. It's called ProCare Parent Engagement. And so you'll get that email. It'll have a 10-digit code in it for your child or children that you have registered. The email will go to the email that you put in when you registered your child. And so if you've got any additional email addresses that you want, like if you want one to go to mom, one go to dad, something like that, we've only got the one email that you registered with. You can send us an email at kidsclubhouse.us@gmail.com and we'll get that link sent out to the additional contacts. But basically what the I'm sorry, you'll get that by the end of the day on Tuesday, so that nobody is calling asking saying you haven't got the email tomorrow. That'll be by the end of the day this upcoming Tuesday. You'll get that email with the link. And then if you've got any questions or issues with it or anything like that, feel free to give us a call. What we're going to use this app for is several things. It will be used for signing your child in when you come in. So it's set up as a geofence. Basically, when you pull onto the street on Coates Commercial Drive, it will enable in your app the sign-in feature. You'll select, all you'll see is your children. You'll click the children or child that you're signing in, and then there'll be a blue button at the bottom that says sign in. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about the sign in and sign out features here in just a few minutes. But once you get that email, you're going to click sign up. Next thing, it's going to ask if you're a teacher or a parent. You're going to click parent, and then you're going to enter the information to create your account. You're going to make sure that you use the email that you registered your child with, so it can link you with that child. And then you'll click add a child and then enter your 10-digit code from the email. Now that 10-digit code refreshes every week, once a week. So once you get it, you basically have 7 days to go ahead and register that child, or else it'll refresh that code, and you'll have to give us a call and we can get you a new code. So then, like I was saying, to check in and check out, once you get the app and you get your account set up and everything like that, then you're just going to sign into the app with your email. You're going to click the little QR code symbol at the top of your screen. Basically, kind of looks like a barcode for those of you that don't know what a QR code is. And then once you click that, there's, like I said, there'll be a blue button at the bottom of the screen that's going to say either sign in or sign out, depending on, if the child's already signed in or not. And then on the next page, you're going to click either sign in or sign out. It's going to ask you to sign your name. So you just do a signature with your finger right there on your phone and then click submit. And at that time, your child will be signed in. Like I said, when you leave and get outside of the geofence that we've set up, then it's basically that little button's gonna turn gray, and you won't be able to use it again until you go back inside the geofence. And at that time, it's gonna activate the sign out feature, and you'll do the same thing for signing out. If you will, just because we've got a lot of new kids signed up to come to summer camp this year, it gives you an option to upload your child's photo in the app. So on our end, when we see your child signed in or signed out, it will pop up a small photo of your child if you take a picture of your child and add them in your profile on the app. That'll kind of help us out with putting a name with a face while we're learning everybody's name here to begin with. So, all right, I'm going to turn it over to Amy for this next part.
All right, so we have an arrival and pickup time. Our arrival time is 6:30 to 8:45. If you are past 8:45, you may not make the field trips for the day. We ask that everyone coming to camp for the day be here no later than 8:45. Our field trip times are subject to change at any time, and if your child arrives later than 8:45, we may be gone on the field trip for the day. Also, we get our final lunch count at 8:45, so if your child arrives past this time, he or she will not have lunch ordered for them for the day, and they'll need to bring their own lunch at that point. Pickup time is 6:30. We'll be back from most or all field trips by 4:30, with the exception of our wet and wild trip, which is 6:30 for those that are signed up. We'll talk about that later. Of course, traffic could potentially cause a late arrival from field trips, but if we're going to be more than 30 minutes late, we will send everyone a message on the ProCare app with our ETA.
All right, so our drop-off and check-in procedure this summer, I went into a little bit of it just a minute ago, but we'll have a check-in station that'll be by the front door of the building. There'll be a team member that will be out there to escort your child in the building. We do ask that you have your child unbuckled and ready to exit the vehicle by the time you get checked in. Anybody that's been here knows we don't have a huge parking lot, and it can get backed up pretty quickly. So if you can have your child, already signed in the app and unbuckled, ready to hop out of the vehicle and come on inside, that will help with the flow of traffic at drop-off time. Every Monday, one of the team members will give you a camp newsletter. It's going to have some important information for that week. It'll have the schedule of activities and field trips that we're going on for the week, what to bring each day to be prepared for those activities. Our lunch menu stays the same all summer long, but it will have that on there for Monday through Friday. It's going to have the weather forecast. And then any important notes from myself as far as any changes are concerned. If it looks like there's a 100% chance of rain one day that we're supposed to be going to the park, it will have on there basically the alternate activity for that day and what to bring to be prepared for that activity. Again, as far as the check-in procedure, like I said earlier with the app, you'll check in with the app, and there, on a second note about that, there could be a question to pop up when you go to sign in. When you click sign in, if it pops up a question, we may have a question for you, or just have a general set of questions that entered into the app that pops up. You just answer those questions and it'll go on to the sign in feature. Once you completed that and click sign in and submit, your child will be signed in for the day and they are okay to come into the facility. Please, again, make sure that your child is signed in through the app before they come in, because basically that's going to give us our roster for the day and our total head count and everything like that. It'll be later on. I know usually we ask about, for lunch, if they want a hamburger or cheeseburger or so on. We ask that when we get them out of the car. This time we're going to do it a little bit differently when we split up to get our final count, and we split them up into small groups for just a few minutes. We'll be asking about their lunch options at that point, so don't worry about that at sign up.
Pickup procedure for the summer. We'll also be using the app to sign the children out, just like we explained a little bit earlier. The same way that the feature is automatically enabled when you pull onto our street, Coates Commercial Drive, this sign out feature will also be enabled just like that in the morning, same as the afternoon. Once we receive the notification that a child has been signed out, we will need to see your hang tag. Everyone was given at least 2. And if you need more, just let us know. We'll make sure you have that. We'll have your child gather his or her belongings and have them escorted to your vehicle. 2 tags for each family have to be hanging, or you can at least show it to us when you do pull up. If you don't have it, we'll need to see an ID. And that goes for anybody. I don't care if you've been here for 8 years or 2 years or none. Same procedure for everybody. The tags have 2 purposes. It'll make it easier for our staff when you are here to pick up and call your children quicker. If we miss, seeing who signed out, it'll make the line go faster as well. It's an extra added layer of security for your children. If a vehicle comes to pick up your child who does not have a hang tag, we'll automatically ask for the photo ID and verify that they are on the child's pickup list. This includes parents as well. We're not able to remember all the vehicles right away. Make sure your hang tag is visible at every time. We close by 6:30 daily. If your child is picked up later than 6:30, you'll be charged a late fee of $1 per child per minute. If you are late picking up more than 3 times, that late fee will be increased to $2 per minute per child, so forth and so on.
All right. So again, just to reiterate, as far as the checkout, we're going to have 2 procedures for checkout. You'll use the app that we spoke about. You'll go in, sign your child out or children out on the app, and then we also need to see that hang tag from your mirror, or you can hold it up and show it to us. It's got your child's last name on it, so we need to see both of those things. And I don't want anyone getting upset if somebody asks to see your ID, because if one or both of those things is not done, then the staff has been instructed, as well as myself and Amy, to check your ID. It's just a couple of extra added layers of security to make sure that the right people are picking up the right children. So as far as what your child needs to bring to camp each day, again, this will be on the newsletter each Monday. We'll also send the newsletter out on Mondays as a digital copy on the through the app. You'll get an email with a digital copy of that, and it'll come from the ProCare app. But we'll hand you a paper copy as well. So on Mondays, they will need a swimsuit, towel, and sunscreen. On Tuesdays, they'll need long socks for those that are going to go roller skating or ice skating, and need to make sure on the days that we're going to Adventure Landing that they wear closed-toe shoes. Those are required for several of the activities at Adventure Landing. On Wednesdays, there's basically nothing. We're doing the movies and popcorn. We provide the popcorn, drink, all that good stuff, so they don't need to bring anything with them. On Thursday, closed-toe shoes for Galaxy. They're required on the go-karts, bumper cars, and several of their activities. And then on Fridays, a swimsuit, towel, sunscreen. We may do some water activities even on the carnival days. So, of course, they'll need it if they're going to go to Jordan Lake every other Friday. And on the opposite Fridays, we may do some water activities again. So I would just say bring a swimsuit every Friday with them. Every day they're going to need to bring a camp shirt and a mask with them. We'll have extra camp shirts available for anyone who does not wear one. The charge for that will be $10 per shirt. That $10 charge will be automatically put on the parent's account if we do have to provide a shirt, unless you pay for it with cash, upon arrival if they forgot one at home. There's no exceptions to this. That is, with the number of kids that we have, that's a way that helps us to make sure everybody with our group is accounted for and under our supervision at all times. That's why we did the highlighter shirts, and we always do some really bright shirts so that we could spot them in a crowd at some of the field trips that we go. So everybody has got to have one of our shirts on every single day, no exceptions. We also have got extra masks on hand for anybody who does not bring one. Some of the field trips that we're going on are still requiring masks, and then on the transportation, we're still requiring masks. I know that the mask policies are ever changing, as they have been from day one. So if anything changes with that, we're going to send out a notice in the ProCare app that will let everybody know ahead of time that something's changing dealing with the mask policy. But as for right now, we're going to require everybody to wear a mask while on the transportation, because they'll be, in a closed-in area for an extended period of time going to and from the field trips. And then because we're not 100% on what facilities do and do not require masks, right now for child care groups, we're going to ask that everybody wear one, have one with them for the field trips. And like I said, as that changes, we will let everybody know. But the extra mask, if they lose a mask or does not bring a mask that day, we are going to, just like the t-shirts this time, it's going to be $2 per mask, because again, with the number of kids that we've got, if we have 50 kids a day lose a mask, we're going to basically be giving out hundreds of masks each week, and we're not able to do that. So basically it's going to be a $2 per mask charge that'll automatically go on your child care account if we have to provide a mask for any reason. On that note, I would definitely make sure to put your child's name in a Sharpie or some sort of label on everything they've got. This includes their shirts. I'd put it on the tag or somewhere on the shirt, any bags they bring, sunscreen bottles, on their mask, everything that they bring. We have hundreds of socks and jackets and shirts and DS games and everything that you can think of that comes in this building, we have winds up in the lost and found at some point. So it would be much easier to decide whose is what if you've got your stuff labeled. I would label everything that your child brings. I can't stress that enough. So I'll let Amy speak on lost and found for a second.
All right, we will have lost and found baskets that the items left at the end of the day will be placed in. Children can look through these baskets at any time if they're missing any of their belongings. We'll also put the lost and found out on a table outside by the drive-through pickup line every Friday afternoon, starting the first week, and Monday mornings the following week, throughout the entire summer. Any items left after 2 weeks will be donated to Goodwill. Again, it will keep everything. If it's labeled, it'll help tremendously because we know it'll go back to that person. We have parents that'll do like the iron-ons, so we know that their name is right on it. You do whatever you need to, just label everything, because we will not save socks. We will not save underwear. At the end of the day, no matter what, those things are not coming back to you.
All right. So as far as food that's going to be served at camp, breakfast is going to be from 7:15 to 7:45. We've got cereal, Pop-Tarts, juice, and milk. We just do a light breakfast each day. If your child's going to arrive after 7:45 a.m., then you're going to need to provide breakfast prior to their arrival. You are allowed to bring it. Your children are allowed to bring in their own breakfast. However, it needs to be something that's ready to eat. We don't have the means to heat it up or keep it cold. Anything, add milk, things like that. It just needs to be basically like a breakfast bar or Pop-Tart, something like that, if they're going to be here after 7:45. Around between 12 and 12:30, we'll have our lunch each day. Let's see. Monday will be hamburgers or cheeseburgers. Tuesdays will be tacos, and they're from Taco Bell. They are only meat and cheese, so no lettuce on the tacos. Also, forgot to mention with the hamburgers and cheeseburgers, they're plain, no condiments on it. We do have condiments here, so every child will be asked if they want ketchup or mustard on their hamburger, cheeseburger. Wednesday, we've got cheese or pepperoni pizza that comes from Domino's. Thursday again is hamburgers and cheeseburgers, and then Friday is a plain chicken sandwich. Again, we've got condiments here. The Jordan Lake days, for those that attend Jordan Lake, we have all beef hot dogs with that, and then just for the ones going to Jordan Lake. If they are back here at the center, again, they'll have the plain chicken sandwiches just like normal. There'll be potato chips, lemonade, and water served with every meal. We take our final lunch count at 8:45 a.m. That's one of the reasons we're asking everybody to be here no later than 8:45. Make sure your child's here by that time to get on the lunch count. You can bring your child can bring his or her lunch with them anytime. Again, just like the breakfast, it needs to be something that's ready to eat. We don't heat up things or refrigerate them, anything like that. It just needs to be something that can pull out of the bag and eat. And then at 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. each day, we have our snacks, 2 snacks per day, and that consists of chips, pretzels, Rice Krispie treats. We've got Little Debbie snacks, graham crackers, pudding, ice cream. Once a week, we'll be having, we've got a company coming in to do snowballs for all the kids. And so we do snack at 9:30 and 3:30 daily.
Okay, what are the basic rules at Kids Clubhouse? All of our rules can be found on your registration, everything you've already signed. But here we go. We do not separate the children by any age groups. We have activities planned for all ages throughout the day. Due to the open layout of our facility, as well as the numbers of siblings that we have registered for summer camp, we allow all ages to play together. The only time we separate by age is when we're doing high energy things like dodgeball, football, etc. A few of the basic rules: no touching, hitting, slapping. No foul language will be permitted. No rough play. This includes on or off the inflatables. Children must respect the staff. We are here to ensure that they have a good time as well as a safe time while they're in our care. We do not allow cell phones or smartwatches to be on the children while at camp. Should you need to contact your child during the day, feel free to call us here at 919-550-3262, and we'll put your child on the phone for you. If he or she is on a field trip, our staff will contact a team member who will contact you should we need something or they need something. We do not give out the Wi-Fi password to anyone for any reason during summer camp. We have video games, streaming movies, music playing, etc. There are plenty of activities for the children to participate in without needing Wi-Fi. We do allow tablets, handheld games, if your child would bring that to camp, but this is at your discretion. We are not liable for these devices. If one is broken, lost, stolen, left on a field trip, etc., we are not responsible for it. It is your child's responsibility to keep up with it. Once again, label everything. We'll have multiple tablets, I'm sure, that look exactly the same, and labeling your child's device will help prevent any mix-ups. Our discipline policy: the first time your child is caught breaking a rule, he or she will get a verbal warning from one of our team members. The second time, he or she will be sent to timeout for a short period of time, typically 5 to 10 minutes, depending on their age and their severity. The third time, we'll notify parents when the child is picked up that the child is repeatedly breaking the rules. If the same behavior continues, the child will be suspended for a period of time we feel is appropriate for the offense. We do not speak to the parents about every incident. We would do nothing but talk to parents if that was the case. We would talk to you guys all the time. We only mention the problems to the parents if a child does the same thing 3 times in one day, or if there is a problem that is continuing to happen day after day. If bad behavior continues after a suspension, we will ask that your child not return to camp for the remainder of the summer. Depending on the severity and of the disciplinary issue, in order of our disciplinary action may be changed at any time. So, for example, if, Bobby was hitting a staff or hitting another child and we already had talked about it and he's already been suspended because it happened more than 1 time or 3 times, we would probably then ask you to not come back if it continues. Things like that. Foul language, same thing. Any of those things that we just discussed.
All right. Got a quick rundown of a few things that we're doing to prevent sickness and COVID in particular at Kids Clubhouse. One is we're continuing, just like last year, to do the drive-through drop-off and pick-up, so no adults will be allowed in the facility. We'll have staff by the door that can come and handle any issues or questions that you may have at drop-off and pick-up time. Just our staff and kids are going to be allowed in the building again this year. When the kids come in each day, we're going to have a staff member asking them to go, of course, put away their belongings in the cubbies and then go straight to wash hands. And then before we do any eating at breakfast, both snacks and lunch, we'll have all of the kids go wash their hands. When we come back in from doing an outside activity, we'll be asking them to wash their hands as well. Let's see. And then also before and after each field trip. So before we get on the bus, we're going to have everybody wash hands, grab their mask if they've got it in their bag or wherever it's at. And then as soon as we get back off the bus from the field trip, we're going to ask them to wash hands as well. Let's see. We're going to still, just like last year, we're going to have our symptom-free policy in place. If we notice a child showing symptoms of any type of virus, whether it be COVID or not, we're going to immediately call the child's parent and give them, basically, you'll have a 1-hour window to come and pick up your child, and we will do our best to kind of isolate that child away from the other children, because we don't want any children to get sick. But of course, if somebody does and they're around a large group, they could wind up passing along to someone. So if we notice symptoms, persistent cough or really bad, runny nose that's continuing, then, things like that, that could be associated with a sickness, then we're going to give you a call and ask you to pick your child up. And then along with that, we're going to continue to enforce our touch-free policy. We're going to ask the kids to keep their hands off of each other. I know that just playing around, kids will touch one another, and we're kind of going to use common sense on that. If they're playing tag or something like that, then it's one thing, but just basically not putting their hands all over each other, so that could eliminate possible transfer of viruses. Let's see. And then we've got, still have the sanitizer solution that we were using last year and have been ever since. The bathroom handles and doors, everything like that, we're sanitizing thoroughly throughout the day. And then we've got a janitorial service that comes overnight when everybody's gone and cleans and sanitizes our facility as well. Now we've got hand sanitizer stations set up in multiple locations throughout the facility. And then basically, like I said earlier, we're using common sense. If we see or hear something that needs to be addressed dealing with anything that may spread germs or viruses, we're going to immediately take corrective action on that. We asked the parents, you guys, to help us out with preventing, sickness this summer and spread of any kind of virus. Make sure your children use good hygiene at home. If your child has had any symptoms of sickness in the past 24 hours, please take a day off from camp until those symptoms go away. And then, of course, if your child or anyone in your household has come into contact or being diagnosed with COVID within the past 14 days, we ask that you give myself or Amy a call, discuss it with us, and we'll work out something. But please do not take the risk of bringing your child to the facility. We'll take care of things as far as payments and everything goes on your account. We'll deal with that on a case-by-case basis. So please explain the importance of keeping hands to themselves, washing hands regularly throughout the day at camp. We could use the parents' help as far as explaining the importance of those items. And then, we're going to need to at least see, like I said, if something changes, we'll let everybody know. But as far as masks go, we're going to just need to see that everybody's got a mask when they get out of the vehicle in the morning. They don't have to have it on, but at least show it to us that they've got a mask. And then anytime, we're just going to suggest that anytime your child is around the same group of children in a close, kind of in close quarters for an extended period of time, like at the video game center or while we're doing crafts or board games, things like that, they may want to, put on the mask just to be extra cautious. Again, like I said earlier, anytime that we're on the vans or buses, we're going to ask that they wear that. And then in the facilities of some of the field trips that we're going on, and we'll stay in contact with everyone through the newsletter and the app as far as changes regarding that.
All right, your fees. All registration fees and weekly deposits are non-refundable as stated on your registration. If your child is not going to attend a week of camp that he or she is registered for, you will need to notify us in writing at kidsclubhouse.us, as in us, at gmail.com, not less than 2 weeks in advance in order to cancel the automatic payment draft for that week. If we do not receive the notification in writing at least 2 weeks in advance, your account will be charged the remaining balance after deposits by 9 a.m. each Monday that your child is registered for camp. We accept cash, check, credit, and debit cards for weekly payments. If you pay with credit or debit card, or if you choose to let your payment auto draft, there's a 3% processing fee added to your payment automatically. If you would like to avoid the 3% charge, you are welcome to pay by cash or check by 9 a.m. on Monday. There's a $5 late fee per day for any payments made after 9 a.m. on Monday. There are no exceptions. If you bring a payment that afternoon, it's going to be $5 more. There is a $25 fee added to any return checks and or bounce credit or debit cards. To avoid any of that, pay by 9 o'clock. Your child should have to be given an extra shirt or mask and or has been picked up after 6:30 or issued a late pickup charge. Let's try that again. If your child should have to be given an extra shirt, mask, or be picked up after 6:30 and be issued a late pickup charge, your account on file with us will be charged the following Monday for any additional fees occurred throughout the week. So if this first week of camp, you needed an extra shirt, I'm not going to run it that day. It's going to go on the following Monday, whether your child's here or not. It will get run on the Monday. That's when I run everything.
All right. As far as just to touch on that for just a second, as far as payment related questions or needing to change a card on file or anything like that, your best bet is to email us at kidsclubhouse.us@gmail.com. We always have someone that will ask something in the drop off or pickup line. And after we have checked out or checked in 100 more kids, most likely we've forgotten what you asked us. So to have it in writing for your records and ours, the best option is to just shoot us an email real quick. And then if you want to mention it in the drop off and pickup line as well, then that's fine. But just to be safe, because I do tend to forget from time to time if someone tells me something in the pickup line. So next is just a quick bit about the Wet and Wild trip. We're going to be handing out a letter to everyone that signed up and got in for the Wet and Wild trip on the Monday of that week, explaining all the details, everything you need to know about that trip. That's the one that's quite a bit different than any other trip, as far as the drop-off, pickup procedure, times that we do, all those details will be sent to you. Of course, if anybody does drop out of that trip between now and then, we'll be calling. We do have quite a bit of children on the wait list for that, and as soon as someone drops out for any reason, we'll call in the order that you registered. We'll call to add people from the wait list. If there are, we'll say this: if there's any parents that want to go on the trip with us, we need to know no later than June 25th. As far as getting the discounted ticket, the price for parents is going to be $40, and that will include lunch for the parents as well. You will get the same lunch that the kids get. It'll be a catered lunch provided by Wet and Wild. That'll get your ticket into the park and your lunch again. Parents will have to either follow the bus or just meet us at Wet and Wild, as we do not allow any parents on the charter buses. We basically fill up every single seat on the buses with either staff or the children that have registered. So any parents are welcome to go. You just will have to meet us there, and then that'll be it.
Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask us at this time. If you would prefer to ask a question in private, you can call us at 919-550-3262 or email us at kidsclubhouse.us@gmail.com.
All right, we're looking forward to an exciting summer. The staff, and as well as myself and Amy, we're very excited that we're back to normal and going on field trips again, and that we've been able to work out every single one of the field trips being approved for this year. So we should be back to normal. We're looking forward to seeing everybody again, and we hope to have a great summer. Children. Okay, so when we're in our facility, the minimum ratio is 1 adult staff to every 20 children. We're typically a little bit lower than that. That's what's required is 1 to 20. We're usually more like 1 to 15 in the facility. When we're on field trips, we're required to have 1 to 15. Again, we usually stay under that, somewhere around the 1 to 12 or 10. And any water activities that we do, we will not go over 1 to 10. Usually, especially for like the swimming pool, Jordan Lake, things like that, it's more like 1 to 8, somewhere in that frame, because we want to make sure that we've got plenty of supervision. And then on that note, at the swimming pool, the pool that we go to also has their own lifeguards. So that's on top of our ratio of staff to children that we cover.
Yes, if you're paying by cash, you can pay at drop off. When you drop your child off, we'll be out there. We'll have envelopes and everything ready to take your payments right there.
All right. So as far as swimming, we go on, besides the Wet and Wild trip, we go on 2 regular field trips that would consist of swimming, which would be the swimming pool on Mondays. And then on every other Friday, we go to Jordan Lake. As far as swim lessons, we do not offer any kind of swim lessons. However, at the swimming pool, in order for a child to go in any deeper than what they can stand up in the pool with their head above water, we require them to do a swim test of one of our staff. And basically, they go to the deeper part of the pool, and then the staff will walk alongside them as they swim from one side of the pool to the other and then back again without touching the bottom. If they do that successfully, then the staff gives them a wristband, and that's how we know basically any children that have wristband can swim anywhere in the pool. If they don't have a wristband on, they need to stay in the shallow part where they can stand up easily on their own. And you're welcome to bring any kind of life jackets or floaties or swim things that you need at any time.
If you weren't able to pick up your shirts, if you want to pick them up this week from 3 till 6:30, if you want to just call us ahead of time, we'll pull your shirts for you and have them ready. You just pull through the drive-through line. Just let someone know that you're here for a shirt pickup.
Should we pack it? So yeah, like I said, you're welcome to bring a life jacket or swimming floaties, anything that you want as far as for the pool and Jordan Lake. At Jordan Lake, they do have life jackets available. Of course, they don't have hundreds of life jackets available, but they do have a handful. So, if your child wants to go there and forgets a life jacket, most likely we'll have one available for them. We do have cubbies in the facility. We've got cubbies on the back wall on both sides of the facility. We do not have one for every single child, but what we will be doing is having baskets lined up along the walls this year, and that will basically serve also as cubbies that they can put their belongings, bags, and things like that in as well. So we do try to keep everybody's stuff neat and organized as possible so that we can prevent losing and mixing up things. Yeah, so originally we had posted a calendar of alternate, basically because last year we were unable to go on any field trips. We went ahead this year, because we started registering January 1st and not knowing what it was going to look like. We had a calendar posted of an alternate calendar, basically, if we were not able to go on field trips again. But since all of our field trips have been confirmed and everybody's open for business and we're good to go, we'll be going on all the field trips. Now, we do make some of the field trips optional, not all of them. I'll give you an example. Any of the water activities, Jordan Lake and swim days, are optional, and we'll have activities going on back here at our center during those. And basically what we do is get right before we go to the swimming pool or Jordan Lake, we'll get all the children to have a seat on one side of the building, and we'll ask who wants to go swimming. And the ones that want to go swimming will go to the opposite side of the building and then load the buses. The ones that don't will stay seated for a few minutes until we get those kids loaded up and on their way. And then we'll start our activities here at the facility for the ones that don't want to go. Same thing with roller skating, ice skating. If your child does not want to roller skate or ice skate, of course, we don't want them to go to that facility and just stand around bored the whole time. So we make those optional. If they want to stay back here, we'll have plenty of activities going on here as an alternate option to that field trip. But then, of course, we do have field trips that everybody goes on, the movie being one of them on Wednesdays. When we go to the park trip, everybody goes to the park. Galaxy Fun Park, everybody goes to. So, those are field trips that we don't give the option on, but like I said, we have some that are optional, some that are not, and the big one is all water activities we do optionals, as some parents may not feel comfortable sending their kids to a pool.
If your child does have a prescription medication that needs to be administered during the day, we do need to know what time. It needs to be labeled with his or her name on it. That's pretty much it. I mean, just make sure we have enough for what you need. It's even better helpful to serve us if they know to remind us, but we will all work together to try to keep up with that. Paige, I'm not sure exactly what you're missing from swimming. And Dee Dee, if they should, yes, they should come dressed with bathing suits on the water days. That would help. They can change here, but it would definitely help if it's under their camp shirt and ready to go with sunscreen already applied.
Yes. And like she said, even on the swim days, if they come with a swim shirt or, you know, swim trunks, swim shirt, anything like that, they do need to have their camp shirt on over that. That we should be able to see their camp shirt on their body every day when they come in. We got any other questions? Okay, so again, so we have somebody that missed the part about the swim test. If so, we do take the children. We'll just basically make a line at the deep part of the pool, and we'll have a staff member stand and tell them one child at a time when to jump in, swim to the opposite end of the pool, and then back, and they walk alongside them, and they can't touch the bottom during that swimming down and back. And if they do that successfully, they get an armband that basically says that they're a good enough swimmer that they can swim anywhere in the pool. If they're unable to do that, if they touch the bottom even one time or struggle trying to get down and back, then we do not give them an armband, and they're made to stay in the shallow part of the pool where they can stand up with their head above water. And we have all of our staff that goes to the pool will be in the water with the kids, so they'll be looking constantly for armbands to make sure the ones that do not have them are not where they're, you know, are in the shallow water.
If you want them to bring arm floaties or a life jacket for the pool, you're welcome to. Just make sure you label everything. Teresa, if you'll just swing by, we'll make sure we get those shirts for you. I'll check the list to double check that.
The cubbies are not labeled. Same thing with the baskets and everything that we have for putting the kids' things. They're not going to have their name on it, so they may get a different one every day. Again, it would help greatly if everything you bring is labeled. And a lot of kids will bring a bag or a book bag, something like that, that also has their name on it. And you know, we just ask them to put everything they're not using in their bag and put it in one of the cubbies so it's easy to find at the end of the day. As far as camp shirts, yet you can swing by anytime between now and the start of camp would be best, and just ask whoever's at the front door. We're open every morning from 6:30 until 9. And then somebody's here from 2:30 to 6:30 every afternoon this upcoming week. And then actually with the remote learning, we'll be up here all day long on Wednesday. So you could come by anytime on Wednesday and pick up the camp shirts. Preferably, you would pick them up before the first day of camp, because again, we'll have so many children being checked in that it would hold up the line if we had to go, you know, issue shirts to someone during the check-in.
And if you just call us right before you are headed this way, we can make sure they're pulled and ready for you.
All right, we got any other questions real quick before we go? All right, if you do have any other questions, again, our email is kidsclubhouse.us@gmail.com. Feel free to email us. Feel free to give us a call. Our number is 550-3262. Again, my name's Cameron. I'm the camp director. This is Amy, our assistant director. And we're looking forward to a great summer, and we'll see everybody real soon.
Bye, guys.